Let's settle for the details now, because people in high places are also feeling the pinch of escalating fuel prices. Diesel is currently selling for more than 23 cedis, while petrol is hovering around 18 cedis. Speaking to JoyNews, Adansi Asokwa MP Katie Hammond revealed he nearly fought with a fuel attendant when he went to purchase fuel and the price had almost doubled. He, however, says Ghanaians are better off because we are not in queues to get fuel.
It's difficult now. My understanding is that all these things have been factored into the present formula now. And yes, we still find ourselves where we are now. Tell you something horrific. A few days ago, I went to the garage, pumped the fuel into the car. The bloke came up and gave me a bill. It was almost a third world war at the garage, at the station. Why is he giving me this? He said just yesterday, the price of diesel, the price of super moved to what the price of diesel used to be. Diesel is now 20 whatever. I was about complaining to a colleague in the profession a day after, and he said to me, don't worry about that, it's going to go to 23 this evening. And it's a particularly difficult situation. What is it that led to this? What is to be done? It's a difficult situation. And nobody, I don't particularly envy the lot of those who are really having to juggle. What do we do? Is the what do you call it? Is that the elephant in the room? It's the elephant in the room. Normally you don't mention it, but we are mentioning it. So I'm not sure whether it really is the elephant. But it's a difficult thing. It's not a situation peculiar to only Ghana. It's all over the place. The advanced economies and also advanced economies in Britain keep on whenever these issues come up. Obvious point of first reference of Britain. America, a point in time, fuel prices were lower than the prices of water. I mean, well, now they're also suffering. It's particularly difficult. I mean, you heard about a situation in, what's the name, Sri Lanka, and the redeeming situation it did for those of us in Ghana is that at least we are not in long queues. Producing country in Nigeria and those countries around the area, they're all in some sort of queues. We are not.
Says the current price hikes is primarily due to oil marketing companies and BDCs chasing astronomical profits, although he does not rule out the poor performance of the cedi as a factor.
The bulk of the issue lies with the BDCs and then the OMCs. There's a crunch, a dollar crunch in the economy. Two cataclysmic situations that have bedeviled the world, the globe, not only Ghana, have contributed in no small measure to the problems that we have. Ukraine, Russian crisis, and obviously the pandemic. So, you talk about reduced taxes. We'll deal with the main crux of it. I made a point. It's the oil marketing companies, the big ones, the BDCs. Okay. And I have a problem. And so they better sort it out. Now, well, they got the dollar at whatever rate, whatever it is. So somebody should pay for it. You get a point. This is the difficulty. So 3 days ago, they would have said that the dollar was 13, was 12 or something. So we bought it at this. Today, the dollar is gone to 14, whatever. So quickly, they do the multiples. It doesn't matter that they had actually brought the crude or the product back into the country previously. I am concerned that some companies, the oil marketing companies, are making unnecessary profits. I think we should be careful how they are also playing the market. we are in this together. It's not MPP, government, and whatever it is. And I think all the respective individuals, particularly the companies, they must be very careful how this plays out.
Katie Hammond, who's a member of Mines and Energy Committee, says he's aware there are serious governmental efforts underway to ease the pressure in the system and is completely against removing taxes and other margins on the fuel price build-up.
Have you checked? I was incandescent with rage the other time because I remember some time back when we were working distance and then the percentage was close to about 40, 50, whatever, particularly when I was ranking and we were making all the noise and this. So I was calling for all this reaction that you are talking about. A few days ago, a month ago, I called for, I haven't been following all the calculations the last few, whatever. So I called for it. And I looked at it and I was petrified. Check it. Somebody dropped it into your ears. That was the taxes, the prices, and whatever. Go and check. I won't give you the details. I'll give you some assignment. Go and check. Basically nothing. Basically nothing. I was surprised because I was hyped out. Come on. I'm going to reduce this, get this. Katie, have you looked at it? They said, well, not recently, yes. Those days when we were doing the calculations, it was quite significant. Well, in the last, whatever, check again. President has traveled out of the country many times, has sent emissaries many times out of the country to make sure that in a very short time, we would be able to flood the market with some products, I mean, because listen, you can see from the way I'm making this presentation that I'm not happy with the way the BDCs are going about this situation.
Now, the CEO of the Chamber of Agribusiness, Ghana, Anthony Morrison, is calling on the Agri Minister, Dr. Afriyie Osu-Akoto, to resign. He said the minister is bereft of ideas, and especially in these times when food inflation is skyrocketing. This call was backed by the General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union, Edward Karawa.
Benjamin, very good morning to you and your cherished viewers, and also the agribusiness sector players in the country and farmers. I must say that simply, the minister is bereft with ideas. For me, it's a simple...
Anthony, you would have to speak up a bit so we can hear you. Did you say the minister was bereft of ideas? Is that what you said?
Yes, certainly. And to start with, he must just resign. I've been saying this for the past 2 years, that the minister lacks what it takes to run that ministry. And I'm sad that we have the Ghana Association of Agricultural Economists sitting down, and we have their colleague who says he's a coffee economist, and he's running down a sector that we pride in. To start with, look, Benjamin, let's contextualize this issue. This is an issue of elasticity, demand and supply, and it's as simple as that. Now, let's now interrogate how the food supply chain works in Ghana. Some farmers are sponsored by the aggregators. Some farmers are sponsored by the queen mothers, the market queen. Some farmers are sponsored by the transporters. Okay, when they get there, they take their money with them, a lot of money with them, with their small cars. They move from farm gate to farm gate and pay for what is there. So they have a truck that loads 10 bags, 20 bags to the next point and aggregates all this food. So sometimes they could visit about 10 to 15, even sometimes 20 communities before eventually getting either a truck full of food or half food. Now, they sometimes have an arrangement with these farmers. They sometimes pay half, or based on the agreement of pre-financing, or they pay 70%. Then they take this produce to Accra or Kumasi or Takoradi, Cape Coast. So now, when they get there, there'll be some losses, okay? And all these are calculated, and the aggregator reimburse the farmer, or sometimes the farmer tops up with additional fresh food. So when this happens, you realize that there are a number of activities, sometimes based on personal affiliations, sometimes based on pure business scenarios, and sometimes based on a transporter market queen relationship.
Now, artisans in the Swami Industrial Enclave are backing calls by the majority in Parliament to sack Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. Legislators on the majority side of Parliament, headed by MP for Asante Achim North, Andy Appiah-Kubi, impressed on the President to relieve the Finance Minister of duty or risk losing their support for government business. Now, artisans say the poor management of the economy by the Finance Minister is enough to substantiate the cause. Emmanuel Braikoku interacted with some residents in the Industrial Enclave and has come through with this report.
85 members of the majority caucus in Parliament are demanding the sack of Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and the Minister of State Charles Edubwahi. The unanimous decision comes on the back of the high cost of living experienced by the Ghanaian citizenry. The legislators say their call is cemented by the outcry of their constituents who are reeling from the impact of the sinking economic situation. At the Swami constituency, a section of artisans in the industrial enclave supports the call. They should sack him. Times are hard now. We are really suffering here at Swami.
You say you were saying 6 years. Aye. Now, Nimane Kosono, and years, I was a winning flu. Oh, ball for Bob as a sports minister.
It's been 6 years now since he took office, but things aren't going as expected, so he has to be sacked.
So when you're the way you know, we have a show. Go be like a young Kobe. We are saying, say, in Padu, you shia. Near Unipaba, say, you do my in our way, Sika Somay. That's after the Sika Semono, and Koya. So now, who's Canasona, you be sound who be.
If you have been assigned to look after our finances and it appears things aren't going on well, you have to be sacked.
And Sakura Ansania Becassia Bepamu, the Venus Yamanasa Crania Copebu. Let's say, oh man, any woman in Esu, say, oh man, in Queen. So, no more man, Japadia Shamonsano, because Mobama say, oh man, yet is Casu, and so come. Then,
however, President Akufo-Addo, in response to the demand, requested that the finance minister be pardoned for the time being, as he is currently leading the country in the IMF negotiations. The constituents disagree, citing the performance of the minister in managing Ghana's economy in the present fiscal year. Transport fares have increased.
No, but I know some 2 cedi. Since you are a 4 cedi.
Say, shopping, no. I didn't 2 million. Last Wednesday. I didn't 2 million.
That's my shop. I imported some spare parts 2 weeks ago. They used to sell at 200 Ghana cedis, but I cannot sell them at the same price now. A number of Ghanaians are hoping the president will heed their calls to usher in a new finance minister.
Oh, Minister, no, I hope so. What be you be? Do bit my abo man and why no. The Emirates says so calling powerful, but you have fresh ideas. Because your man do Siciano, you have fresh ideas at least.
The minister has done his part. We need fresh ideas to manage the economy now. We need a new finance minister.
Adebechibia ya tufuemo, adebechibia no, ya tukeskem. Jamase, say living of standard of living, are very high.
Oh, there are time be uncle, and I say you need to be our uncle.
For Joy News, Emmanuel Bright Kweku reporting.
Now, Ghana has been recognized globally for its carbon emission reduction efforts and is due to receive $4 million for that. According to the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, who made this announcement at a pre-COP27 meeting Thursday in Accra, Ghana's efforts resulted in 972,456 tons of carbon emission reductions, which have been validated and verified.
A significant achievement, just in time for an announcement at COP27, is the achievement of emission reductions for the reporting period, June to December 2019, under the Ghana Cocoa Forest RED Plus program, signed with the Carbon Fund. 972,456 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent emission reductions were recorded for the period accounting between June to December 2019, which have been validated and verified. Since this program is results-based, Ghana is set to receive $4,862,208 United States dollars in commensurate carbon payments, which will be distributed according to a highly consultative and transparent benefit sharing plan. Communities will realize the results of their immense contribution, which will boost their confidence in government's climate interventions. The need to scale up forests and other nature-based climate solutions is more important now than ever, particularly for our country, where most of our emissions come from agriculture, forests, and land use activities. We are therefore calling on all of you, representatives of governments, civil society organizations, the diplomatic community, non-governmental organizations, cocoa companies, mining companies, the youth, women's groups, and members of the local community to rise up and rally behind us to promote forest and nature-based solutions to climate change. We look forward to an even greater participation and contribution to the global conference at Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, and let us all join hands in solidarity to make COP27 a great success, thereby contributing to the global efforts at halting climate change.
Samuel Abujanapo revealed Ghana has thus been inducted into the Forest and Climate Leaders Partnership, which will be inaugurated at COP27, which will help scale up actions toward forest restoration and conservation.
At COP27 is Ghana's participation in the Forest and Climate Leaders Partnership, FCLP, a COP26 presidency initiative to give steam to the Glasgow Leaders' Declaration on Forest and Land Use. FCLP will create a platform for member states to scale up forest conservation and restoration actions to implement climate solutions and provide sustainable development. The partnership will also provide a unique space for intergovernmental collaboration and coordinated action with partners and stakeholders. President Akufo-Addo of Ghana will join President Biden of the United States and other heads of state and government at a Forest and Climate Leaders Summit on 7th November in Sharm el-Sheikh to officially open FCLP. Ghana's membership of FCLP is a testimony that our efforts to accelerate emissions reductions and removals through nature-based solutions has been recognized globally. We will therefore use our role as a member of the FCLP to showcase the country's climate actions and that of other countries as we synergize to work on addressing forest loss.
Let's do other stories now, because the teacher unions have suspended their service effective today, and one of the reasons is that they're opposing the appointment of Dr. Eric Nkasa as the Director General of the GES. My colleague Sama Kojo Brace joins me live with more. Kojo, what can you report?
Maps, so the teacher union at the pre-tertiary level, they beginning today, they are not going to teach. They have laid down their tools because they don't agree to the appointment of someone they describe as a banker, Dr. Eric Nkasa, as the Director General of the Ghana Education Service. According to them, since the creation of the Education Service, all the people who have been appointed as Director General have been people who are educationists. They say that 6 of the people who have held that position were professors. The remainder were people who had risen up the ranks through the Ghana Education Service. Now, they also allege that some people who had risen through the ranks had applied for the position with some qualifications that the Education Ministry rejected as not being qualified enough. Why are they then accepting someone who has similar or same qualifications? Now, I have with me here one of the leaders, Kim Ali Awutu, who is the president of CCT, the Coalition of Concerned Teachers, with me. Steve, the question is, why would you stop teaching kids because of someone's appointment?
Thank you very much. Remember that in every organization, institution, even if it's a company or factory, the well-being of that institution most of the time depends on who leads. That single person who is the CEO, the managing director, the boss, carries the institution along. So if you don't have the right person as the boss of an institution, the entire institution will go down. If the head is rotten and the heart is not good, forget about the rest of the body. So the Director General of Ghana Education Service is coming to superintend over 350,000 teachers who are all educationists, who are all professionals. He is coming to superintend over 280 directors. Remember, we have over 260 district directors of education. We have 60 regional directors of education. Then when you come to the head office, we have Director Secondary Education, Director HR, is coming to superintend over all of them. All these directors are educationists who have gone through the mill and have done other courses for them to get where they are. How can the person who is coming to lead them knows next to nothing about education and brought to lead them? How is he going to even do the work?
But this person is someone whom the Education Ministry has stated continuously that he has taught for a longer time than you say. He's taught in the university before. He's been at the Education Ministry for some time. He's really gone through the ranks in the education sector. Really, doesn't matter his qualification if the employer thinks that or knows that he has the capacity to really help him accomplish his vision of transforming education in Ghana?
Thank you very much. First of all, we don't believe he has the capacity. And I've said it time and again that the Minister for Education, Dr. Yawose Duchum, should stop throwing that into the eyes of the public. At the Conference of Directors of Education, the Minister of Education mounted platforms and said things that were untrue. For example, he said that Dr. Rikin Cancer led the negotiation for the 15% COLA that is being enjoyed by public sector work. Organized Labour is even angry about this pronouncement. 2, the fact that somebody once taught in the classroom does not make the person education. And the Minister for Education knows that. Somebody teaching at the primary before, or at the SHS before, or teaching at the university before, does not mean that the person has done education. You should have done education. That is why when you come to GES, we have people that we call them pupil teachers. You get it? So even if you are a graduate, but you have not done education, and for want of teachers, the scarcity of professional teachers, you are employed. We give you the name pupil teachers or pupil teacher. At a point in time, the name started becoming demeaning. So it was changed from pupil teacher to non-professional. So we have brought you into the system because of a necessity. When professional teachers come in abundance, will be removed. So if Eric in Cancer once taught in a primary school, and so what? Remember a lot of our SHS students, when they leave school, they go and teach. So that person will one day rise up and say that I once taught in a primary school somewhere, and so that qualifies me to be the Director General of Ghana Education Service. When you go through the CV of Dr. Rikin Cancer, he's not read education anywhere, not once, not diploma in education, not a state, not postgraduate diploma, not Bachelor of Education, not Master of Education, nothing. The Minister of Education reported to the President that the set of skills of Professor Christopher Mankwa is no longer needed, it's no longer relevant in the management of education. And if somebody who has gone to Wesley College of Education and has done education up to the level of PhD, the minister could say that his set of skills are not relevant in the management of education. Then you're going to appoint somebody who knows next to nothing about education to come and manage the affairs of education. Then the set of skills of Dr. Rikin Cancer That one is, if there's a word beyond irrelevant, that is what you have to take. If that of Professor Mankwa is
Dr. Matthew Opoku, who was your minister some time ago, has not done education anywhere.
That's the mistake people are making. For minister, anybody at all can be minister, except the Attorney General who needs to be a lawyer. What do ministers do? They come and convert the manifestos of political parties into policy. And then the technocrats in the ministry, they implement it. So the ministry is a policy formulator. But the Ghana Education Service is the implementer of the policy. The person going to implement the policy must know what he is doing. You understand what I mean? So for the ministry, there's no problem there. Anybody can be appointed to be a minister. So far that particular person is educated enough to a certain level, no problem. But when you come to Ghana, for example, how can you appoint somebody to go and stand in the classroom and teach? Teachers implement the policies of the Ministry of Education. And the person going to stand in the classroom and teach cannot just be anybody, must be somebody who has been trained to offer that service. So when you come to Ghana Education Service, it's a body of professionals. And for you to be a member of that body of professionals, there is one thing you must do, and that is education.
Well, but the DG is only providing leadership. And that's something that, I mean, people who have the will and who have really been there can do.
You cannot relevantly lead a group of professionals if you do not understand what they are about. For example, can we just appoint anybody at all to go and lead the General Legal Council and the person is not a lawyer? Can you appoint a non-pharmacist to go and lead Pharmacy Council? Can you appoint a non-medical doctor to become the boss of the Medical and Dental Council?
Well, but in your agreement, has it been stated anywhere that you can go on strike because of the appointment of someone as DG?
In our collective agreement, as we said in our press release we just did, it is stated there that the rank of the Ghana Education Service starts from Senior Superintendent 2 and goes through Senior Superintendent 2 through Principal Superintendent to Assistant Director to Deputy Director to Director 2 to Director 1 to Director General. So the Director General is part of the ranking system of the Ghana Education Service. And it is now a collective agreement.
But it doesn't say that you can be DG only when you've risen through the rank, does it?
No, the presidents of the land have the right to promote. So as I stand here, as an Assistant Director, the President can appoint you to the position of Director General. So you have been promoted. But you cannot promote somebody who is already not in the profession.
But Professor Mankwa was not he was in education, but he was not at the GES level. He was
Professor Mankwa is in the profession. Do you know what? Professor Mankwa went to Wesley College. After that, he taught at the basic level. He did his first degree, taught at the secondary level, did his master, did his PhD, and then went to the university. So before he will go to the university, he has been in the pre-tertiary stage, so he has a rank. It's just as simple as that. And he is also an educationist. As we said in our press release, from 1974 to date, some 17 or so director generals have been appointed, out of which about 5 or 6 were professors. Those professors were not in the Ghana Education Service at the time of the appointment, like Professor Biyo Kufi. They were appointed from academia. Remember, as I stand here as an educationist in Ghana Education Service, I can do further studies. And when I attain PhD, I can decide to go and be a lecturer at UCC. But I'm an educationist, so I can be appointed to certain institutions.
Will you be happy if medical doctors go on strike because a non-medical person has been appointed as the Director General of the Ghana Health Service? Will you be happy yourself if you go to hospital and they say doctors are not there because of that?
Now, as I've said earlier, a group of professionals must be led by one of them.
Will you be happy if that happens in the medical profession?
Why not? If that is what their system is. Why not? Look, as I said earlier, leadership is everything. Leadership is everything. And when you are coming to lead a group of professionals, the professionals must see you as one of them. Okay. The professionals will not be happy for you to go and bring somebody who knows next to nothing. And this thing, we will not allow you to control to happen in the Ghana Education Service. Okay.
That is my colleague Samuel Kojo-Brace speaking to some leaders of the teacher unions who have suspended their services effective today as they oppose the appointment of Dr. Eric Nkansa as the Director General of the Ghana Education Service. You're still watching JoyNews Desk. We're going to take a quick breather. We'll be back with more.
Hello, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Some producers of goods made in Ghana say they are losing profit due to the high costs of raw materials. They are among producers and traders in various commercial areas complaining about the current economic situation. Nana Wachi Yadom puts the spotlight on footwear production in Kumasi.
Over here is Roman Hill, Edum, the most vibrant commercial area in the Ashanti region. With a clear insight of the current global economic challenges, today our conversation features producers of Ghana-made goods, particularly Ghana-made shoes. Alhaji is a hard-working shoemaker who has been doing this for about 8 years now. According to him, 2,000 cedis, which used to be a starting capital some time ago, is now something very less to begin with. He says customers have also reduced the number of shoes they could purchase. He pleads with government to intervene with people who sell out materials to reduce the prices.
Maybe 50 with me, man. Maybe 20 kwanu aya man. But any pan flower. No go say that say o kan bo now say any mint me o. E say be 20 cho 10. E say bo na o ba man no so ntimi. Ana do ma o koton amon so muso ntimi. So e say Ghana ha na yete na yenye leda. I
don't get bias because all of them are complaining of the prices.
33-year-old Bayo Andrews has been in the business for about 11 years now. The piece of shoe Bayo could produce weekly has been affected by the price increase in raw materials.
Bayo Andrews, my age, she Dubakuni. And near Mano, Netonum, and near my young Todi Jumano. And I'm money manas. As you see, I know, first, no near Koto solution idea, Jumay. Na first year, tono 130, 1.3, it's 130 cities. But within this year, shoot it to 2.5.
We used to buy these materials at 130 cities. Currently, we are buying them at 250 cities.
Yen party, also this can be brew. Now, would be a cotadian, yen party. Oh no, now Wabel catch us and party, and who never now the man and I was seeing who was sent to
Speaking to Mr. Joseph, who has also been into the shoemaking business for about 10 years now. A piece of shoe produced by Mr. Joseph used to be sold at 30 cedis and 35 cedis up until September this year. Currently, a pair of shoes is being sold at 45 cedis.
Okwa nyama do da ne solution e de adwuma boko bia ade beti bia ne yatum ade beti bia ne yatum ade beti bia ne yatum nti amama okwa say obi wa akwa bia wo che ne adwuma kra ntse o ka say on tine fi obi wa ma je ne say me che ne adwuma me ngi ne ska o nti bo wan say adwuma na akoso nti ana price na akoso nti o say mama akwa ne tine fi.
I had to sack my apprentices because I could not bear the cost of production anymore.
50 cedis, there's only the 10 cedis. Now, Tosso, leather, you say leather, and I say, no book, I'll put for my intimate leather. The first and the end of the moment, 35. Now, you say, you are quite denying it is 45 at the moment, but I still don't say. The moment bear say to 4% on the moment bear 35 and 40. 40 cedis is no quite intimate. This is why they say this is why I say Oteso. Maybe all the man 45. Now I say when you be a car for me.
Safo Hayford, a distributor of shoes produced by Alhaji, is from Mampontein. He says he is unable to buy shoes in several pieces for distribution due to the high prices coupled with increase in fuel prices.
And this for these shoes for 45 cedis, 50 cedis. But when I contacted the man who does it, he told me it's now selling for 70 Ghana, of which I am coming to buy so that I go and sell it to other people. And I'm coming here to buy it for 70 Ghana cedis. How much am I going to sell it to those my customers? So things are getting out of hand. So we will plead to the government to do something about our economy.
All right, so the economic crisis having an impact on production of footwear, and MAPS, as you know, they are going calls for the finance minister to be sacked. Well, he's got a response to that. I think you may know what he said.
And he said that you have a finance minister gone through all the pains and aches, and nobody can come and say We don't understand what we are doing, unquote. Those are the words of Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta as he speaks for the first time since calls for his dismissal escalated. He has been under pressure to step down or be sacked over what is believed to be gross mismanagement of the Ghanaian economy. But speaking to members of the Association of Ghana Industries in Accra last night, Mr. Ofori-Atta expressed confidence, says the nation is purposed for greatness.
Just to assure you that you have a finance minister who has gone through all the pains and aches, and nobody can really come and say you don't understand what we are doing. The question is, what resources do we have and how are we going to deploy them in the nation that we have? And how do you stand firm in very difficult circumstances by being very confident that the nation is purposed for greatness, and you are blessed to have the opportunity to lead where we are going.
You're still watching JoyNews Desk. Up next is Tech Talk. And it's time for Tech Talk with my favorite person in the whole of Ghana. Yeah, hello Spiky, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Elon Musk, since he has taken over Twitter, he is causing havoc. He's wreaking havoc everywhere he goes. What is happening?
So Elon is cutting jobs at Twitter. And it's crazy because they're slimming down the whole workforce. About half of Twitter's workforce is going. And this is worrying because under normal circumstances, you'd think that, oh, we're going to improve things. And the first thing that Elon decides to do is snip the jobs, cut people. So people are going to be receiving emails today to let them know if they're going to be keeping their jobs or they have to be looking for new jobs.
Talking about people who won't be keeping their jobs, senior partner manager, Ghana's senior partner manager at Twitter, posted something on his feed, and I just want to read it because, I mean, it's just really sad, and especially with the way the economy is going, how people are coping with this. So this is from Mr. Meister, and he says, "It's been a year working at a place I never imagined I'll ever get to work. I'm glad that I could represent for Africa and I didn't let us down. My best career experience by far, and it was beautiful whilst it lasted. Much love to all the amazing tweets that made it worth it. #OneTeam." And I mean, Mr. Meister did an incredible job with all his campaigns in Ghana. So I think it's just like very sad that, people like him are losing jobs. But let's continue.
Yeah, so it's very, very sad, and because there's the abundance of talent at Twitter that is going to have to be laid off, and they're going to have to look for new opportunities right now. Well, that segues into our next topic, which is about some of them are actually planning to sue Elon.
Elon, okay.
Because according to the law, they should have provided, any company, so there's an act called the WARN Act.
Okay.
It requires that an employer with more than 100 employees must provide 60 days advance written notice prior to a mass layoff, and affecting 50 or more employees at a single site of employment. So they should have received 60 days notice. At least that would have helped them to plan for their next moves and stuff like that. And he's made it clear that he believes that, the laws are trivial. That's what Elon Musk is saying. These laws are just trivial.
Oh, okay, but there's another thing that people have been talking about on social media the whole week is about paying to get verified, and it has caused a lot of controversy because it's like, if anybody can pay to be verified, now we won't know who's producing fake news, who are the genuine people, and so it's a bit tricky. Let's talk about that.
So it's tricky indeed. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, but why would people be paying to be verified? If you're saying that, then it's going to get to a point when those who are not verified, that's going to be the in thing, Yeah, man, I don't care about being verified, so you can keep your blue ticks. And those who actually care about it as a status symbol would actually pay for it. So it's going to become the inverse, where Twitter is filled with everybody with blue ticks, and just those who don't care about blue ticks will be the people who actually are the ones who are verified. So it's going to be very ironic. But Yeah, I think that's one of the most controversial decisions that Elon has taken. But it all stems on the fact that he's looking at ways to generate money. He was looking at all social media platforms out there, Facebook, Instagram, et al. Twitter is the one platform that doesn't generate as much revenue.
Okay.
Because of how it's structured. You know, it's a very fleeting timeline and it's very difficult to keep track of everything, especially ads. So unlike Facebook, unlike YouTube, unlike Instagram, where you can actually see the ads come in between the content you're consuming. Sometimes you even see ads on Twitter and they don't really even look like ads.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's looking at ways to make money and that's why he's cutting jobs. About half jobs are going to be lost.
Yeah.
And he's now going to be charging people verification. And he's dissolved the board.
And he's dissolved the board. He's a sole director.
He's sole director, so there's nobody who's going to be able to challenge him now.
I see. All right. Thank you very much for for giving us updates in the world of tech, Spiky. Up next is sports. And it's time for sports. Lawrence joins me. Lawrence, I don't want us to have a conversation about this, but it is unfortunate that my team, Kotoko, suffered their first loss for the season. Yeah.
I think it was, I won't say it was expected, but then the fixtures between Kotoko and then Bechem United has always been fiercely contested. So yesterday, it was the case, it was the same case. Bechem United took the lead. Kotoko were hoping to get back into the game and then at least get a points from the game. However, things moved from bad to worse in the second half when they considered a second goal of the game. And then I tell you, the second goal was one goal that you don't want to see your defenders commit or concede because you have a striker moving with the ball and three of your defenders chasing the same player, leaving an outfield player on the other side alone. So once the person with the ball is able to square to that player, it means you are in trouble. And that was the exact thing that happened. House of Folk did some last season and we were complaining about it. I think it's something that Ghanaian defenders need to work on. But away from yesterday's game, you know, it was an outstanding game for match day 2.
Yes.
So yes, away from yesterday's game, we moved to the fixtures for this weekend. Both House of Folk and then Kotoko will be facing new entrants because Kotoko will be playing against Samatex, who were promoted this season. That game is on Sunday at the Babaya Sports Stadium. But before that, today, Dreams FC faced Tamale City at the Dewu Park. Accra Lions and Nsawatreman. Accra Lions are second on the league table. Nsawatreman are newly promoted. So they battle. Kotoku Royals and then Accra Hearts of Folk. As I was talking about, Hearts of Folk are looking to continue their winning momentum from their last game. Elsewhere, Ediana Stars and then Legon Cities go head-to-head. Brekum Chelsea will face RTU. RTU are without a win in their first 4 games, so hopefully they get a win over Brekum Chelsea. BBN Gold Stars will face King Faisal in the other game at the BBN Dunes Park. King Faisal have lost all 4 games this season. It's not really looking good for Alhaji Grizzlies men because to lose 4 games. You know the last one.
So what are they doing? Are they joking with the ball?
I don't know what's going on at the club at the moment because for King Faisal to go, you know, last season they started very well because they were competing with Kumasi Asante Kotoko before Kotoko came to overtake them. So for them to go into the season losing all 4 games, it doesn't speak well. Even Tamale City, who just came into the league, have a point to boast of.
You say what? For King Faisal. That's
King Faisal.
That's what you said. For King Faisal.
So yeah, 3 teams are without a win this season. King Faisal, Tamale City, and then RTU. So hopefully this weekend, one of them is able to break that duck.
Okay. King Faisal.
Yeah.
You people, like, are you joking with the sport or what? What are they doing?
You know, you are in the same city with Kotoko, so at least you will be able to give that competition in Kumasi. But once Kotoko feel bossy and they are beating you left, right, center, come on.
Oh, no.
You don't make things competitive. And then you don't even encourage your fans to go to the stadium. Because at this point of at this point that we are in, you need your fans to be at the stadium at least to
give you some morale, some support,
and then
generate
revenue. But if you are not playing well, your fans are also not going to the stadium, and that's one thing that I think they should pay attention to get the best out of their club.
Hashtag bring back the love, bring back the love. But you people are playing with the sports. Lawrence, are they not playing?
It's sad.
They are joking with it.
Hopefully Kotoko to bounce back to winning ways, and then Monday when I come, it will be all smiles for you.
Oh, definitely. Kotoko will bounce back because that's what we do. Thank you very much for the words so sweet. And that is how we end Joy News. There for more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Mapitso Sebidi. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.